Hi there, this is Dr. John, your physics and math professor, coming to you with another question that might be found on a test on parabolas or quadratic equations. Here we have a quadratic minus 6.1x squared minus 97.6x minus 390.4. And they want to know what the roots are of these. In other words, what values of x here will make this equal to 0. If you remember a root, so here's an x and a y axis. Let's say you have a parabola like this. This one, of course, would open downward because it's got a minus here. I just drew some generic thing here. So when y is equal to 0, which is this is the y-axis, this is the x-axis. When y is equal to 0, the curve is going to hit the x-axis at certain points. Those are called the x-intercepts, or sometimes the solutions, or the roots. This is an R. Any of these things, the x-intercepts, where it hits the axis, the solutions would be when y is equal to 0, what's the solution here, and the roots. These are all valid terms. In this case, they ask for the roots of this. So what they want us to do is they want us to take this equation and put it equal to 0. Here I have rewritten this entire equation, only I've made it now equal to 0, which is what you want to do when you find the roots or the solutions or the x-intercepts. You'll want to do that. Now in this case, you might look and say, well, this is a pretty complicated problem. I can't really factor this. It's got these decimals. And you could use the quadratic equation. You could use negative b plus or minus the root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. This is a, this is b, this is c. Perfectly valid to do that. And you're going to see if you can find one or two solutions. So on the test, though, you want to see if you can find a way to quicken yourself, to get through a question really quickly and see if there's some sort of trick. So here we have variety of different answers that are given to us, and this one says the solutions are minus 8 and 0. They both have to be solutions at the same time. So let's see if we can eliminate one of these. This might be the easiest to eliminate. So if we don't know about minus 8, but if a solution is 0, then what we would do is we would plug in 0 for the x right here. Plug in a 0 for that, plug in a 0 for that. In that case, this term becomes 0, this term becomes 0. But do we have 0? Does that equal minus 390.4? It does not. This would have to be 0. This whole side would have to be 0 for this to be true. So in other words, this here is not one of your solutions. That's nice. We got rid of one of them. Now we notice this one has this number and an 8. And this one has an 8. So if we could eliminate 8 as one of our possible solutions, that would eliminate 2 more. Let's see if we can do that. So we'll make this an 8 and this an 8. Now notice over here, if you make this an 8, this is 8 squared, that's 64 times this. So this is going to be a negative number, whatever it is. Negative a. Some big number, 64 times 6. This here is going to be a positive number times a negative number, so it's going to be another negative number. This over here is already a negative number. These are all negative numbers, none of them are 0, so this number is going to be a big negative number, which cannot be equal to 0. So this value over here is a no-no. This value over here is a no-no. We don't know about that one, but we don't care because we're asked if it's this and this. We know it's not this, so we eliminate this. The only thing left is this one. You would mark that and move on to the next question. If you have time afterwards to come back, what you would do is you would make the quadratic formula. I'll just write that out for you here really briefly, just so you have it in your mind. So the values of x would equal negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. If this is a, don't forget it has a minus sign. This is b, don't forget it has a minus sign. This is c, don't forget they all have minus signs. What you'd want to do is first plug in the stuff in here. This is called the determinant. And you'll want to see, because if this is negative, then it has no solutions. I think we know it has one solution. So this is probably going to be 0 in this case. And so you want to do this first, and then you take this and add the plus and add the minus and divide by this. You should get 2 solutions. Or if this is 0, then you'll get 1 solution. If this is a negative number, you get no solutions. I hope that helped. If it did, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.